Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pause for Self-Care. So nice to see you again today and discuss another mental health subject. Today's subject will be about healthy coping skills. This is something that I really needed as a childhood trauma survivor, and I just think it's a very interesting subject for anybody just to have in their toolbox. So whether you're here for your healing journey from childhood trauma, any healing journey from trauma, or just here to learn a little bit more, welcome. I do hope that by the end you'll want to subscribe. So let's get into today's video.
In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize. We need to feel, we need to use this warmth that could make bright our lives. In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize. We need.
So, in today's society, what would be the in thing to do if you are feeling troubling emotions or going through a rough time? I'd say a quick fix. And why do we want a quick fix? The day goes like that, you need to be on top of things, and you don't have time to be on top of your feelings or those things that are happening in the background. And that's really sad. We really need to be taking care of ourselves a little better, because when all those things pile up, what happens is like you become like a pressure cooker pot, and everything like goes in and in, and the pressure builds up and the pressure builds up. And what happens when it builds up too much and you don't check on the stuff in the pressure cooker? It explodes. And that's what happens to us. We tend to explode. So today I thought I'd discuss some coping skills to help you when you're going through that tough time. Now, for trauma survivors, things tend to show up at the time that you least wanted to, or you least expected to. So my first little tip will be learning to give yourself a little worry time. So your day is going, as I said, something shows up, you're not feeling great, you want to self-soothe really quickly and continue with your day. So what do? Give yourself 10 minutes and say to yourself, okay, I am going to set some worry time. Tonight at 6 p.m. I am going to set myself some worry time. And then don't fail yourself. Set that boundary with yourself, like I said in my previous video about setting boundaries. Set that boundary. 6 o'clock comes, have some worry time. Focus on that one thing and help yourself through it. So yes, you may be leaving it at that time when things are just a little bit chaotic and you can't really deal with it. But you are setting time to deal with it. And that is what is important, because we don't want the pressure cooker to explode. Okay, so before we get into the healthy coping methods, I just want to quickly stop on unhealthy coping methods. Now, of course, we all have them, we're all human, so you can't beat yourself up for having them, because we all have them. But yes, why do we have unhealthy coping skills? We have them because we really want to numb that pain. We don't want to experience those feelings all over again, right? But that isn't good in the long run. And that's why I mentioned that first little tip to give you worry time. And yeah, like I said, you can set it for 6 o'clock tonight, or you can set it for the weekend when you feel you can actually deal with that. So temporarily putting it aside and saying to yourself, yes, I am going to deal with it, is healthy. What happens with unhealthy coping skills? We tend to reach for something that will numb it. And yeah, we all know what that is. Alcohol, that's the top of the list, obviously. But yeah, unhealthy coping skills to talk about. Now, I've made a list of a few, so I will be looking down temporarily. Sorry for that. So, drinking alcohol, top of the list. Using drugs, overeating or restricting eating, overspending, retail therapy, sleeping too much or too little, depression sets in, self-harm, aggression or violence towards others, destruction of property, procrastination, blaming others for your problems, refusing help from others, being mean or hostile in a joking way, isolation or social withdrawal, denial, tantrums, speeding or reckless driving, other risky or harmful behaviors, and using healthy coping to avoid reality. So, yeah, those are a good few. And the main thing is to avoid. That's why we do it. So we don't have to face it. So we don't have to deal with it. So we don't have to reach out for help. That's why we do it. So let's get into some healthy coping skills. So we avoid the unhealthy ones and deal with our emotions. Okay, so the first skill is distraction. Now, that first little tidbit I mentioned about giving yourself worry time, that would be, to me, really a form of distraction, because you are taking yourself temporarily away from what is bothering you, but you are still committing to dealing with it. So it is a healthy coping skill. You are not avoiding it completely. So distraction is not the same thing as avoidance. Remember that. So yeah, if you are in a place where you cannot have that safe space to feel your feelings, you can use a distraction tool to help you, so you can get to a space where you are in a safe space and you can get the support that you need. Deep breathing. Now, breath work is really one of my favorites. I know some people can't get into breath work, but it's such a great tool. It can be used to start off a meditation, which is the next healthy coping method. And if you look at my channel, I do have a good few coping methods for anxiety, visualizations, and a meditation workshop, so that you don't need to do a meditation that is guided. You can actually do your own visualizations at home as you need them and focus on the emotions that you need to. Practicing mindfulness. Such a great one. I speak about it often. I have so many videos on it. Mindfulness, being mindful of who you are, what you want, and that kind of thing, or using mindfulness as a tool. And gosh, I've used so many videos on this too. So yeah, subscribe to my channel and just have a look. One great mindfulness tool for when you're really busy look around you and name the colors you can see maybe in a painting. Look at the things that are on your desk. Maybe, this is my shake for today. Taking a little break and just smelling the shake, smelling the coffee, being mindful of what's around you and bringing you back into the present. And that's what mindfulness is about. But of course, if I do have a lovely video of being mindful of what you are and finding out about the person you are after childhood trauma. So do have a look at that one, because that's an absolutely vital one. Give yourself a pep talk. Or say an affirmation. Both just as good. You know, when you've been through trauma and you have that negative little voice in your head, you kind of say to yourself, I can't do it. Well, change that by, change those words. And change it into an affirmation. Say to yourself, yes, I can do it. I can try. I can give it a bash for 5 minutes. And then move on from there. You'll be so proud of yourself when you've actually done a few things that pep talk would have worked. And speaking about being proud of yourself for doing things, make a checklist. Checklists are wonderful. Write it down, actually write it down. The reason I say that is because it brings physicality to it. And then you check things off those lists. And you say, I have done so many things today. And you know what? If you haven't done everything on that checklist, that's also okay. You can add it to tomorrow's checklist and say to yourself, I've done that. Give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. Listening to music. I love this one. It's pretty much the same as watching movies with what I'm going to tell you right now. Like when you're sad, watch The Notebook and cry it out. Obviously. Listen to a sad song and cry it out too. Listen to a pepped up happy song and brighten up your mood. I just love that. Watch a comedy and bring some positive vibes into your day so you can feel good after a tough day at work. And that is not avoidance, because giving yourself a little bit of joy in your life is good for your mental health. So yeah, it's not avoidance. It's still dealing, and it's just helping you. So yeah, play that sad song when you need to cry. Talk to someone. Now, as a support group leader, I completely understand the value of having a safe space to speak about what's bothering you. So yeah, if you're not in a support group and you feel it's something that you might need, speak to a counsellor. I always have the contact details for the South African Depression and Anxiety group, in my description box. And yes, I am a volunteer support group leader for SADAG. So yeah, join a support group. Have that safe space. It's always nice. I can tell you my support groups are fantastic. So many compassionate people. They really, really just know what to say when you are having a moment and you need somebody to hold that space for you. Reframe your perspective. How do you do this? Let me give you a nice tip. Lists. Simple, right? You've got a big problem, and in front of you it seems like it's a huge frickin' mountain. What do? You break it down. You make a list of things that could possibly happen. You say, could I deal with that outcome? Either you can or you can't. And your emotions with regards to this is important. So you write that down and you say, look, I can deal with this, this, and this, but I can't deal with this, this, and this. Look at it from a different perspective and say, I can deal with this, this, and this, I can't deal with that, that, and that. And if you're looking at your different perspectives on outcomes, you can say, look, I might not be able to deal with that, but I think I could actually deal with it better than if that happened. So you decide and you say, okay, I'm going with that route because those things aren't as intolerable as the other way. And if you're really struggling and you're just saying, oh no, I just can't do this, break it down. Break it down to some more. Break it down into pieces that you do feel that you can cope with. And yes, every single problem can be broken down into points, into methods, just making it a little bit easier for you. Therapy is a fantastic tool. It's a safe space once again for you. And yeah, I speak highly of it because it's helped me a lot. So yeah, therapy is not messing with your mind. It's just helping you find better solutions. So yeah, and when we think of therapy, what do we think of? Our pets. Our pets are all therapists in training, if you want to call it that. They just know how you're feeling and when you're feeling it. So spend time with your pets. And yeah, these are some really fantastic tools that you can use. And if you want more tips or a little bit more information, head over to my blog because I'll put up a little bit more information about healthy coping skills over there. Thank you so much for joining me today. To the newbies and the OGs, I do hope by this time you are hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free to subscribe. However, if you would like to leave a donation, I'd be highly appreciative of it. I am I have decided to do a counseling course, and your donations will go towards that, and obviously with that information I will be able to give you better content. So thank you so much again, and until next time, cheerio, and remember to pause for self-care.